Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now November 2nd of 2022, and we are just weeks away from, of course, Andor actually coming to a close for Season 1 before they move on to production for Season 2. And of course, we have a lot of other things on the horizon, such as Mando Season 3, the Ahsoka Tano series for next year, and a whole lot more that's gonna arrive on Disney Plus in the near future. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new universe between John, George, and Dave is that what they are currently set out to do is that they are actively bringing back Star Wars Legends. By far, the fan favorite aspects of Legends. The Throne Trilogy, Dark Empire, The New Jedi Order, Shadows of the Empire, you name it. So I do suggest you guys go ahead and read up on those books if you want to, because they are going to be cherry picking a lot of elements from those stories, and you're going to be able to tell where Favreau and Filoni are getting their source material from. Now that brings us to Disney CEO Bob Chapek, alright? Now, he's been a very busy guy also, just as much as John and Dave, because not only is he dealing with Star Wars, but he's also dealing with Marvel and just regular Disney films, I mean, you name it. But the one thing that Chapek is trying to make something thrive and survive is the Star Wars franchise. So basically, there are plans already for Chapek to leave at some point in time in 2024, even though he extended his contract. He wants to get out of there by that year, but he wants to leave a legacy behind of how he really created a great impact on the Star Wars franchise. So, moving to where we are now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now focused on their new Star Wars TV shows that will be announced next year, it's noted that currently creators Favreau and Filoni are also beginning to develop. However, just recently, Disney CEO Bob Chapek recently just canceled a major Star Wars project that was a part of the roadmap for the past 3 years, when Kathleen Kennedy had creative control when this project started. Now, this is said to have been a new Star Wars trilogy that was going to be based during the High Republic era of the franchise that would focus on Yoda and other new characters. However, recently Favreau finalized the plans of canceling Kennedy's trilogy that was set out to break down the character of Yoda as a character in a way that was best described as controversial. So, let me just stop here quick for a second. The fact that they were making a new trilogy, or it was all part of the plan by Kathleen Kennedy in the beginning, of how it was going to be a High Republic-based trilogy of films. And for those of you that are out of touch with this, the High Republic takes place before Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And with that, she was going to make a series of movies that would heavily feature Yoda. But the flip side to that coin is that she was going to use Yoda in a very controversial way. Kind of like what she did with Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi and what she allowed Rian Johnson to do. Now this, I gotta give a lot of credit to Bob Chapek for dodging a major bullet. He dodged a missile here when it came to the amount of uproar that fans would have given Disney if this actually happened. Forget about it. Just, simply put. Now, the High Republic, I don't know if you guys read all the books and the comics like myself, that at least likes to read through these things to get better judgment and have an accurate viewpoint on things. I personally am not a fan at all. I don't like them. That's just me. If you guys like them, that's fine. But I did my research. The High Republic, to me, it just does not feel like the Star Wars franchise at its heart. It feels like something else. Something's missing. So for them to have, even been planning to make a trilogy of the High Republic is absolutely insane in my opinion, because it's not all that familiar to the fan base, and number two, it was gonna really kind of break down the character of Yoda in a negative way. Now, moving on to the next thing. Alright, now this was essentially going to be Kennedy's way of making Yoda movies, where it would actually showcase him during the High Republic as one of the main characters in the new films. However, Disney executives were very unhappy with Kennedy's approach to this trilogy that was going to be completely transforming Yoda in ways fans would never even imagine. Chapek recently informed Kennedy that they were officially canceling her trilogy. Kennedy behind the scenes had a very hard time accepting Chapek's decision. Now, these movies were also going to break many beloved traditions in Star Wars, as well that Kennedy was pursuing and chasing to do with these new installments for the franchise. Now, Kennedy's trilogy was also going to retcon many aspects of the Star Wars lore that George Lucas had created, something that Lucas knew about and was very unhappy about where things were all going. So once again, I want to just pause here quick. The thing about these new movies that would have been a disaster is the fact that it was going to basically give Yoda the Luke Skywalker treatment that he got in The Last Jedi, and that would not have been good. When you look at the overall sequel trilogy of movies, right, it really impacted the fans in phases. When The Force Awakens came out, fans accepted it for what it was, you know? Even though it was playing it safe, there were a lot of fans that were still very excited for the next installment. You know, I remember clear as day, you know, a lot of people were upset that Luke only got 30 seconds of screen time, but it made up for itself because Luke was going to be in the next movie. And I think that's a bigger reason why The Last Jedi got so much criticism, is that not only was Luke used the wrong way, but also Luke was actually so highly anticipated because of his short amount of time in The Force Awakens. So that even maximized the amount of criticism based on an emotional response. So here we are, you know, it's the end of 22 already. It's crazy how fast time is just flying by. And we're entering in the year 2023, which, by the way, I've said this plenty of times, it's going to be the most important year of Star Wars. It's going to be basically Disney's Hail Mary. It will be, because they have The Mandalorian, they've got the Ahsoka series, they've got a lot of other shows on the horizon, and when you look at it like that, John and Dave are also getting a lot of promotions every couple of months. That's giving them more and more creative power. It just goes to show you that basically they are acting as president of Lucasfilm to an extent. They really are, because they have a lot of creative control over pretty much all of the Star Wars shows except Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, and they also, Favreau specifically, has 65% control over the financial aspects of all these new TV shows when it comes to budgeting, marketing, you name it. So that is where Favreau has the upper hand, is that he truly is giving fans, you know, what they want, what they really want to see. You know, at the end of the day, Star Wars is all about fun, right? Now, Chapek canceling this High Republic trilogy and finally finalizing that and not allowing Kennedy to do what she wants to do in all that, you know, respective aspects. Obviously, this was a good move by him. He did a great job. He dodged a bullet, like I said before. This would have caused a lot of problems for the character of Yoda, without a doubt. It just would have been messy. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.